and welcome to Wednesday. Okay, this first one is from a gal named Patty from New York. Excuse me. My husband Ben passed away last summer from COVID, but he has been very visible in my and children's dreams since. We feel his presence, and I'm afraid he is still earthbound. I'll stop here. If you have seen him in dreams, he has crossed over. He is not earthbound. I, re- I recently visited a medium and was able to communicate with him. He is full of guilt and remorse over his life and is afraid to move on. He is with us and travels to favorite places but misses us and is worried about us. It was as if he never passed, just cannot see him or hear him anymore. I want to help him cross over and find his peace and happiness. If you have had good dreams about him and the children have had good dreams about him, the medium made a mistake. He is definitely not earthbound. Now, maybe she is got the ability to talk to people that have crossed over and doesn't know it, but your husband is not stuck. Why would it be his fault that he got COVID and died from it? Of course, I could probably give you 3 questions or answers for that, but I won't. Also, I have this passion to know more about the other side, and I have so many questions. I would love to be able to communicate with those who have passed to the other side. My dad was also present along with Ben's mother. They were on different levels and are not with each other. My grandmother never was there, and I was very close to her. Perhaps she reincarnated. Even if grandma reincarnated, you would still have dreams about her because there's always a piece left. So that makes no difference. Even if she was reincarnated, you would still have dreams about her. My dad said he was ready, but I was told highly unlikely he would come back to our immediate family. My dad said he was ready to, but I was told highly unlikely he would come back into our immediate family. Well, that's another mistake. You always come back with your same circle of friends and relatives when you are reincarnated. You did a wrong to one of those people in your past life. You've got to fix it this life. So, no, she is absolutely wrong. I actually don't think you have anything to worry about. And your dad, everybody gets to choose when they want to come back and to what group they want to come back to. So this medium, you actually need to find a better medium to go to because she did not give you correct answers. Okay, this one is from Louise. Here's my problem. My son, who is 8 years old, has a lot of trouble with his room. I have salted and I have used sage. I have also read a blessing to try to get whatever is there to leave. I have also told it to leave, that we do not want you here and that you are scaring my children. But no matter what I have done, it keeps coming back. My son will go into his room by himself for a while after I do this, usually for about 2 weeks. That's when it starts all over again, and he's too scared to go into his room by himself. Now my 6-year-old daughter is saying there is a blue man in my son's room, and he stares at her. She's not afraid. She has tried to talk to the blue man, but he doesn't say a word. Please help me and tell me how I can get rid of this so my son is not so scared. I am at a loss. I don't know how else to help my son. I don't like him being so scared like this. There's another person who has become a friend to us, and she is going through the same thing with her son. He is also afraid to play or sleep in his room, and they have seen shadows in their house. Louise, I can't say anything about your friend and what's going on in that house, but 2 weeks is how often you need to smudge to keep whoever is there at bay. And you've seen it for yourself. The smudging only lasts for about 2 weeks. That's why I tell people to smudge every 12 days instead of every 2 weeks. Stop talking to them. All you're doing is giving them more energy. Ignore them. Tell your little girl not to talk to whoever she sees, that she should just pretend he is not there. I have to tell you, with 2 kids that age, you really need to put them at the top of your list and start smudging, because that's the only way. And if you smudge often enough, whoever is there is going to get totally disgusted and they'll leave because they're not getting any energy. So try that. This one is from Michigan. This is Lorraine. We moved into our house about 4 years ago. We built the house, but brought a doll that has been in my husband's family for a long time. She is about 200 years old. Since the doll has been here, unexplainable things have happened. Nothing violent, more like annoying. Misplaced shoe, only to find it next to my son when he's sleeping, hearing footsteps in the hallway. My concern is that my children have become worrisome since we moved here. They actually worry about things they shouldn't have to worry about as a child. They will not go upstairs alone. My children are 11 and 14. We often joke around about the noises that the ghost is making, just to make it fun so that they won't be so stressed out. It actually was quiet for some time after we go on vacation, and then strange things start to happen again, and then it gets quiet again. Is it possible to have an earthbound spirit in a brand new house? Of course. An earthbound spirit can go anywhere it wants to. I mean, seriously, who's going to tell them they can't? So yes, a new house, I do a lot of work for builders, contractors. So absolutely, that could be going on. Uh, you know, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe this doll had a child attached to it. I can't tell from a letter, but saying that it's not really bad things, a shoe being moved, footsteps in a hallway, that sounds like something a kid would do. So I'm wondering, the only thing is, with your kids as old as they are, I find it hard to believe that there would be a child in the house as old as your kids with a doll. I'm thinking maybe 6 or 7 years old. But if the doll is hers and it was given to her, maybe by her mommy or daddy, then she's going to be around with it. So try smudging. Don't get rid of the doll, because that's you're just throwing out something that you don't have to. But start smudging and see if that doesn't make a difference. After you've smudged for 2 or 3 times, give me a call and let's see if the house is clear, or come on a Zoom. That's the fastest way to see if something's going on. Um, this is from Sandra. The landlord of this property is an older gentleman that lives in a town about an hour away. And when I first looked at this house, he told me it was a great house because he and his first wife had raised their 2 girls there. He just went on and on about how much he loved it and the neighborhood. Well, come to find out that the lady that lives 2 doors down, she was friends with his first wife. And she told me that she was friends with the first wife before she had died. But before she died, she told me how he treated her badly. He was a big drinker. She told me that she was a very good housekeeper and so on, but he started beating her and drinking really bad. I live in Kentucky, And there really isn't much here at your fingertips to go as far as ghosts and spirits. There are paranormal research groups that I'm not so sure I want in my house with my kids always around. I would just like to know if she is here, and if so, will she please leave? I'm pretty sure this has to be his first wife, making sure that we're taking care of the house because she was such a neat person. I desperately need my life back to normal, and all of this depression and unhappiness has to end. Okay, if this man was a drinker, I'm going to think that there's a pretty good chance that you've got a portal in this house. And that could be part of the problem. Yes, maybe the first wife is here too. That could be too. But you getting hold of a paranormal group in your town, let me make a suggestion to anybody that is planning or going to do that. There are like three or four things that you have to ask who is ever in charge of this group, whoever the group is. Is there somebody in the group that can see and talk to the spirit? Is there somebody in the group that can create the white light and let the spirit go, release them? If there are any portals in the house, can they close them? And the biggest thing is, if the house is cleared and they cleared it, how do they protect it so it doesn't happen again? These are questions anybody needs to ask any paranormal group that comes into your house. And if the paranormal group in your area is the same as most of these, they're going to want to come in the middle of the night, like 10 o'clock at night, and set up all these ridiculous cameras and try to catch them on film. And they really don't get rid of anything. They just tell you, yes, you've got something. So be careful. That could be just opening up a whole can of worms if you can't find the right type of person to do this. So just be really, really careful. I've never understood why these ghostbusters, ghost hunters, why they do everything at night. I clear houses in the day when it's light outside. I guess it's the spookiness of it, drama, who knows what it is. But if you've got this kind of a problem with the kids, you need to get serious and come on Zoom. Let's see if you've really got something. Let's see if you've got a portal. Because if you've got a portal, we can work with that. Okay, this one is from Hal and Rainey. For a number of years since we built our house, my wife, guests, and myself had seen a shadow figure on our main floor. The figure is only seen for a split second out of the corner of her eye and seems about the height of a person. My sister recently moved here from Spain, and one night we were mentioning this figure, and surprisingly, she mentioned that she had seen it too, but did not want to alarm us. In the last few months, we have not seen this figure. However, our alarm system has been going haywire. This started about 1 year ago when occasionally the basement sensor would pick up movement and would set off the alarm. After a number of false alarms, we called our alarm installer to check it out. They inspected it, found nothing wrong with the sensor, but they did replace it. All was fine until about a month ago when the same sensor would pick up movement and set off the alarm again, 8 to 10 times a day. And this would happen when we were at work. We contacted our alarm company once again, and they said that the sensor was fine and they could not understand what was going on. The sensor was working perfectly, and then seemed to be no pattern, and there seems to be no pattern to when it goes off. We are convinced that the alarm is set off by some spirit that is still wandering the basement. We do not feel threatened by it. However, our children are afraid to enter the house if we are not home. We do occasionally hear footsteps and unexplained noises and have tried to figure it out. If the house is out, if it is the house moving or other, but I don't know what he's saying here, but at any rate. Okay, this sounds like this definitely could be an earthbound spirit. Setting off smoke alarms, house alarms, garage door openers, remotes for TVs. They love to play with this. The one thing that you say is that you sort of got it in your head that this ghost is only in the basement. Why? This ghost can go anywhere in the house that it wants to. It's not going to stay just in the basement. So start smudging, maybe have the house blessed by an ordained priest or minister. Come on Zoom. Let's see exactly what's going on. But there's no doubt in my mind that is, you are right, that is definitely a ghost setting off the alarms. Okay, for those of you that are in this area, on the 12th of December, I will be at the Goddess Elite. Come out and see me. If you need Christmas stuff, come on out. This Saturday, the 4th, is the new moon. And it peaks at 2:43 Eastern Standard Time. So adjust it to your time zone. I know it's a hard time that early in the morning, but it's December. We could all use money in December. So definitely do your law of abundance. And there is only one Zoom left this year, but it is full. And we will be putting out dates for new Zooms in January. We're going to go back to 2 a month. So we will start doing that again starting in January. Okay, everybody have a great week, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.